Since Spacies.
Guess what? Don't you know? It's the Since Spacies Show. Guess what? Don't you know? It's the Since Spacies Show. Guess what? Don't you know? It's the Since Spacies Show. Guess what? Don't you know? It's the Since Spacies Show. Guess what? Don't you know? It's the Since Spacies Show.
Welcome to episode number 27.
Guess what? Don't you know? It's the Since Spacies Show.
Guest starring PauleQuan, Retrokaiser, and the Top Loader.
It's the Since Spacies Show, everybody!
G'day invaders, welcome to Since Spacies, and this is episode number 27 of the Since Spacies Show, and we're doing this for charity, and I'm joined by some awesome peeps. We've got Retrokaiser, we've got Top Loader, and almost didn't make it, PauleQuan. He's here now. And I might start by first asking Retrokaiser, what have you been playing lately?
Okay, I've been playing lots of things, mainly a lot of retro games, stuff from like Street Fighter 2 to PSP, like the Hatsune Miku Project Diva games. I've just been playing, as I said, a lot of games. Those are just some dimension.
Oh,
yes, I only mentioned two games.
Retrokaiser, camera's over here, mate. Over here. Hello? Yeah.
You found it, buddy. You found yourself? Did you find yourself inside the camera, bud?
But one game I've been putting the most time in is something a bit unexpected. It's Hello Kitty Puzzle Paradise for the PSP. Why? I don't know why. It's
Hang on. Camera's here. What are you doing? You're still looking into the distance.
I said I've been playing Hello
okay.
Kitty for the PSP.
All right. Got it. Paulie, what's been on your disc tray lately?
Lots of games, because I've been achievement hunting again since you gave me an achievement streak to beat, which I dominated, and now it's 54 days.
I dominated. Well, he did. I'll have to give him that.
I've been playing one of the most underrated games this year, a game that's good that shouldn't be good, Hot Wheels Unleashed.
Oh my god, yeah.
Hot Wheels Unleashed has been one of the best games to play this year. Check it out.
Okay. And Top Loader, what has been... What do you mean, hang on? I haven't even finished yet. What?
I was going to talk about Hot Wheels. It's okay, it's all right. Keep going, it's all right.
I was just going to ask you, what have you been playing lately?
Well, lately I've been playing... Oh, wait a minute, I got to lift it up because it's so goddamn heavy.
You've been playing it for one day. Calm down.
You asked me what I've been playing lately, and I'm pretty sure lately that's what I've been playing all the time, because that's what I just got, and when I get a new game, that's what I like to play.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is what you call a brag.
No, it's not a brag, and you know why it's not a brag? Because I forgot I even ordered the special edition. So this came out, like, you could order it. No, I did. I seriously did. I went to EB ages ago and pre-ordered it and forgot about it, right? And then I went to pick it up, Friday, whatever it was, and I bring out this big box. I'm like, what in the world did I order? I cannot remember for the life of me. So I bring it out, I'm like, holy crap. And I'm like, oh yeah, because I put a $10 deposit down. It's like, this is like $140 or whatever. I'm like, holy crap. I thought I was just getting the game. I forgot I ordered the special edition. But it's pretty cool, actually. Artbook and shit.
So, guys, just a reminder to everyone that we are not only live on the Since Spacies channel, but we are coming across on GenerOZity and also on PAX. Which channel on PAX have we beamed into? Has anyone figured that out?
I'm looking it up now, Captain.
No problem. Get onto that. Phases up. Shields up. So what, if anyone's new to the Since Spacies show or channel, basically what we do here is once a month we get together with some gamers like these guys, and we answer your questions. This is the show where you ask the question. I have a stream deck here loaded up with a bunch of questions that you guys have sent in, and I'm not talking text. This is not, some old format. And Billy from Tasmania has written in. No, there's none of that going on. You guys are actually asking the questions, and I've noticed this month there's been a bit of a theme with people filming their questions with the in the car. Thanks, PauleQuan, for that ASMR just then. That was awesome.
Sorry.
I was in mid question.
Sorry.
So we've got a bunch of questions loaded up. I might even have them on my screen in a second. The first question is, as per usual, from Game Boy Bryant. Now, warning, you're not going to understand him. When it gets to the end, I'll have to fill you in on what the question actually is. So, Game Boy Bryant, what have you got for us, mate?
We finally got out of there after maybe about 10, 15 minutes.
Game Boy.
Brilliant.
So my question for you today is this. Tedious mission objectives or tedious side quests that's supposed to give you better loot, but all it did you was a pain in the neck. You know the ones I'm talking about because you've been playing games about as long as I have. If you drive me as crazy as the one in Borderlands 2 or about a cursed gun, which is a piece of crap, you could probably throw it away and wouldn't worry about anything. If you want to know, it's really stupid objective for pretty much nothing more than a joke gun. But the answer to this question, Spacies, take care.
Driving the car,
Okay,
Kaiser.
so for those who couldn't figure out what he was saying, because I had to watch that like 3 or 4 times before I'm like, okay, I think I get it. He's just asking, do you bother to finish off side quests, or do you just go straight for the main story and then go back to the side quests? Because there's a few games where you can't finish side quests if you've completed it, because when you go back, they're like, oh, but you saved the world. We don't need that chicken saved anymore, or whatever bloody stupid missions they've got. So I'll start with Top Loader because he's looking like he's ready to burst at the seams with his answer.
I'm always ready to burst at the seams with my answer. I was actually going to say Zelda because there's so many side quests in Zelda, and I hate doing them. I find them so tedious. But because that's such a blasé general answer in general, I'm just going to say something a little bit different, and it actually comes in the form of a platformer, Yoshi's Island. Now you're thinking, what side quests are in Yoshi's Island? Well, to unlock all the levels, you have to do the stupid side quests of the actual games. We got to collect every single thing in that level before you can unlock the next level. Not the next level, but the level for the world, the extra world level. And it's so annoying because you have to find every little thing in that level 100% before you can actually get all the levels in the game. And it's annoying because I just want to play all the levels without doing all these little tiny side quests, which I always find tedious and annoying, just like the question was asking.
Yeah, and Retrokaiser.
It all depends on what kind of side quests are. Like the Yakuza games, for example, some of them are incredibly fun. Like playing the arcade machine for scores, doing the gambling, but I don't typically do all of them. I only do the ones that I find enjoyable. Well, actually, that's not true. I do the ones that I find enjoyable and the ones that I know that I can beat. Like, again, Yakuza 2, there's like the mahjong, the things. Those ones that I know I suck at, those are the ones I typically avoid. Like, that's a good thing to do on a live panel, isn't it? Choke.
Wouldn't be the first time.
Then you get like the rare exceptions where the side quests are better than the main game itself. My big example for that is, thank goodness I've got it right next to me. A good example of that stuff where the side games are better than the main game itself is Pac-Man 2. There's an arcade where you can actually play the original Pac-Man as a side thing, and that's so much better than playing this actual piece of poo.
I can't believe they've got the audacity to call that the sequel follow-up to Pac-Man.
I never even heard of it on the Genesis before. I didn't know they had it on there.
PauleQuan.
Yes, yeah, I do usually do the side quests and stuff like that, especially with like a lot of games. There's a lot of grinding involved and stuff like that you have to do before you can do like main quests and stuff. An example that was tedious, I'm going to use Need for Speed Most Wanted from 2005. Probably one of the most tedious ones. Like, before you can play the other opponents, you have to do a bunch of side missions and stuff like that before you get to it. But like, as Toploader mentioned, you know, Yoshi's Island, I remember doing Super Mario World, trying to get all like the dinosaur coins and stuff like that. Yeah, like even now, like even with me, because you know, being an achievement hunter that I am, I sometimes do go and do side quests just to get achievements for it as well too. Like, for example, some games complete 10 side quests, complete 20 side quests and stuff like that. So usually I like to do side quests because it, you know, it gives you a lot more discovery in the game as well too and such, and like trying to look for collectibles. So yeah, I do like usually doing side quests before going on to the main mission, you know, because of grinding and stuff.
Just as a bit of a reminder, we are here on GenerOZity, but we just found out we're not on PAX. God damn it! What have I got to do to get on the PAX channel? I don't know. Who have I got to sleep with? Just let me know. I'll do it.
You know what? You got to do that microphone thing.
Yeah. By the way, Top Loader here did not
ASMR.
Yeah. Top Loader here leading into the into this panel didn't know what ASMR was, and we just opened his eyes.
You've just broken me. You've just broken me, and you could say.
And he's never going to be the same ever again. So,
and that's saying something.
more importantly, whether I'm on PAX or not on PAX, the main point of us streaming today is that we're trying to raise money to can cancer. There is another term that they've been using. I won't use it. So I've changed it to can cancer. If someone wants to put the link, there's the Twitch page to
I put the
stream.
wrong link. Sorry.
Well, you can watch GenerOZity or you can watch it here. Either way is fine. But there's a link to donate the money. At the moment, if you look above my ugly mug, they've got, how much is that? 18,000? Are you kidding? They've reached 18,000. Their goal is 19,000. That's pretty damn awesome, if you ask me. So that the goal is to try and raise as much money to screw cancer over, basically, before it screws us over. Thank you for your question there, Game Boy Bryant. We're going to move. Yeah, there's the link in our chat, so make sure you get on that. Now, did you want to add anything else to that?
Yeah, I do. I actually do. I was just thinking about it for a second there, because there is one time but I like doing tedious. Just the one time. I genuinely hate them, like collecting the coins in Mario 64 or whatever. I hate doing that. But in Pokemon, like say Yellow or whatever, even like the ones on the Game Boy, the remakes, not Yellow, like Fire Red, to get like the really powerful weapon power-ups for your Pokemon, you have to do all these side quests. And normally I would hate doing that, but there's actually a pretty big reward, especially in Pokemon Red. If you say, I'm Blastoise, I love using Blastoise, and if you do all these side quests, right at the end of the game, you can get a special move for your character called Hydro Cannon, and it's actually a pretty good move for your character. You can only do it by doing the side quests. So that's when I do like doing them. When there's a big reward, I don't mind doing it. But if you're just doing tedious for tedious, that's tedious. I don't like doing tedious for tedious. I like a big reward. And playing that game, big reward and big move.
And what game was that? Was that Yellow?
Pokemon Red, right? No, so on the Game Boy Advance they remade it, right?
And they only introduced that for that version. It wasn't in the original.
I'm pretty sure.
Okay.
I can't remember, but I've actually finished both, obviously. But I can't. I don't think you can get Hydro. Yeah.
The reason why I'm asking is because I used to laugh or poo-poo the original Pokemon games because I thought they were too kiddish and too childish, and they were originally. But as the series has gone on, it's gotten so damn deep and in depth that adults can play this and still find a challenge to it.
Well, the funny thing is, I actually do it in reverse because I actually hate how advanced it gets because I don't like role-playing games at all. So nice and simple games like Pokemon actually fit me perfectly because you only get 4 moves, right? So you have to kind of work out which ones you want to keep. And I actually like that. Some people probably hate that, and I understand it. Well, I hate it. I get that. But I actually hate having a whole list of... I actually prefer... I think it's actually like, Street Fighter, right? Have they got all these special moves in the new games? I like it. I love it. But sometimes I just love pure Street Fighter with just your Hadoukens and just your free standard moves. Because sometimes you actually have to try and work out a better strategy to use what you have. I think there's something in that as well. And how it's got more advanced, I don't always think it's too much sometimes. For me personally, people love all the extra stuff that come with it, but me, sometimes I just like it more simple.
Like it more simple. I'm gonna leave. You just leave yourself open, but I'll leave you alone on that one. Okay, we have got 7 questions to get through, and I thought this stream was meant to go for an hour. Just got told that it's actually 2 hours, so there's going to be a bit of padding here going on.
And I love the pad.
So thank you very much, Game Boy Bryant. We're going to move straight on to the second question. The second question comes from, oh my god, where is it? Super Nintendo. By the way, if you ever want to catch a awesome streamer, I'll see if I can do it. Just one, yeah, there he is. He's not watching though. Oh no, Super Nintendo. Make sure you're checking out his channel, because if you want to get ideas for how a channel should be run, that dude is the way to go. He's yeah, and he is a good egg. Did someone just fart? Oh no, that's the sound effect. That's the sound. No, it wasn't me. Wasn't me. All right.
Hey, just call it how I see it.
There we go. Emerald Rangers now needs a new pair of pants. Raji, what have you got for us, mate?
What's the
Fantasy
question?
Show. I hope you guys are doing great. This is Super Nintendo, but you can just call me Raji because that's my actual name. I have a question for you. You guys profess your love for all things Sega, whatever you want to call it. Sega, right? You guys love that so very much. But I want to make you love on my Nintendo some more. So I'm going to ask you this question. I want to know, what is your ultimate #1 favorite Nintendo console of all time and why? That's part 1. And it can include their handheld lines, 3DS, Game Boy, whatever. #1 favorite console and why? And #2 favorite Nintendo game of all time and why? Hope you guys have a great show. I can't wait to see your answers.
I'll lead you into it.
Guys are actually in while that question's being played out. These guys are actually fighting over who's going to get the answer first. So, all right, PauleQuan, because you're now looking dejected and don't wanna, you're going to go first. PauleQuan, favorite Nintendo console of all time?
Super Nintendo, straight up. Super Nintendo and game Super Mario World.
But
and
why?
Top Loader would.
Why?
Why? Why? It was because that was my first game on the console, and just
my
first
game was Pac-Man. That doesn't mean it's the first. It's my favorite game of all time.
Calm down. Yeah, no. With that game, it has a very like a good memory for me. It's like the first game I ever completed, like fully 100%. Like, even though, you know, when you finish the game, you have to reset the game after finishing Bowser's Castle and everything, which is the weirdest thing ever. You know, Toppy would know about it. And then, you know, doing Star Wars.
Hang on, you're assuming that I wouldn't know about it. I finished it. When I was working at the Sega hotline, I finished it.
Well, we're not here to brag. We're not here to brag, mate.
You are. You certainly are.
Look,
Yeah, I said you're not. I said, I didn't say I
back
was. I
then-
said you're not.
Look, back then, I finished that game without having the internet to learn how to finish that game. Especially how hard Star World is when you get to the 8 worlds of there's 8 levels of Star World.
Yeah.
That wasn't fun to play at all. But you know, it was a cool thing when you did finish it. The game becomes awesome. You get instead of the Koopas are wearing Mario heads and stuff like that, which is pretty cool.
It was
Toppy,
weird,
you
wasn't
can
it? When you see the
It was
game for the
weird.
first time in,
Yeah.
like, I guess,
It was weird. Definitely weird.
B alternative strips, yeah. Okay, Top Loader, go.
Well, the reason why we were arguing in the chat is because we're doing the same exact answers.
Oh, God.
The stupid
See what you've done,
God.
Raji?
Well,
You see what you've done here?
I'm going to one-up him, though, as usual, so I'm going to have to do it. I'm actually going to show you Wise copy of Super Mario World. It is, like Paulie said, it was actually the very first game, but I did complete 100% without the internet, so I'm just kind of like saying exactly what he's saying. But it is true. We're saying the same thing because it is actually true. It is, to me, the perfect Mario game. There have been many, many great Mario Nintendo games, but for me personally, I don't think I've actually topped Super Mario World. The Super Nintendo is my favorite console because the controller, when I first saw it, was so colorful. It had shoulder buttons, and that blew everybody's mind. You may not think that now if you're a modern gamer. How does the shoulder buttons help you with your gaming? Well, in many games like F-Zero, it did help. So the Super Nintendo really blew my mind, especially with the controller. And then you bring out games like Super Mario World, like F-Zero, like Super Metroid. How can it not be my personal favorite console of all time? And also to add, with the special world he's talking about, I actually love those levels. My favorite being Tubular, where you got to blow up like an inflatable Mario, and you got to get across the screen, and you got to try and work.
How weird is that they only use that in one level, and that's it? It's just like they went to all that effort to program that, and it's just one section that uses it.
But that's so perfect because that's what makes Star World, because they're all so different. If you look at all the levels there, they're all really hard when you first play them. They're all so different, and that was so unique. I thought, oh my god, how do I do this? You got to find the extra balloons to keep on going to the end. I have put up a tweet one day of how to actually do. I have actually put a tweet up on how to do that level, and you just got to work out the patterns of the bosses when you're doing it. And it does become easier once you work out, because they do all the exact same thing. Once you work out their pattern, it's not that hard. But initially, it's hard when you don't know how to do it, which is going to be answered in a question that's coming up about the rewind feature, but which we didn't have back then. But I can bring it up for an example when we do that.
Oh, you finished. I was just getting the bell ready to stop you. Okay. Retrokaiser, your go.
My favorite Nintendo console? Well, let me take down this
You're an
Hedgehog,
idiot. You are such an idiot. You have to flex.
What was that? Was that vinyl?
It is.
Yes,
It's vinyl.
was.
It's an actual vinyl.
It's a vinyl. So it's a vinyl.
Vinyl is the console.
Oh, that's a great one. Yeah, that's a good. You can't complain about
Nintendo
that.
GameCube.
Do you clean that? That's a bit dusty, man.
I haven't used it in a while, so
Whoa. Blasphemy, mate. Blasphemy.
with the Game Boy player attached too.
Damn! Wait, look, he got Fire Red in there too.
Fire
Oh,
Red.
yeah.
What's in there?
Oh, there you go.
What's in
Hey,
there?
you got Hydro Cannon?
Let's fire the GameCube bazooka at the camera and see what's in there.
Have you got Hydro Cannon?
Hydro
Oh
Cannon.
my gosh, it's not a good game in there. It's Sonic the Hedgehog Genesis, a bootleg.
Oh, he fooled us! He fooled us, man!
Now he pulls the mask off. Now he pulls back the curtain.
I would have gotten
Anyway,
away if it wasn't for you pesky kids.
Why is it my favorite Nintendo console? Well, quite honestly, I just find the games on it incredibly charming. Like, super fun and charming. Sure, the Super Nintendo is great, but you two bozos already said it. I don't know why I called you bozos. That's me.
We can have a third bozo to say that too.
There you go.
That's fine.
Yeah, yay! But
What's going on with you? Did you not have your furball medicine this morning?
Can I ask you something about your GameCube? Do you have trouble sometimes reading the disc? Because apparently the disc, because mine's starting to do it now, where it won't always spin the disc or it won't load up
I
properly.
did on my original GameCube back in 2006, all the way back then. I did on my actually no 2005. Did on my but I love the games. I liked how it's got a lot of Sega stuff on it too, like the Mega Collections, the Adventures. It's got like the good Mario, good Nintendo first party stuff like the Metroid Primes, the Sunshines, and the Geist, and some really killer Capcom stuff too, like Beautiful Joe, which needs a fucking needs a bloody HD remaster.
That is a good game.
I've got two GameCubes, and it is very tempting to say GameCube as my favorite Nintendo console. I have to go Switch. I'm sorry.
Really?
The Switch has been
my
most
yet.
used. Oh.
I'm not done yet, dude. And the best one of my favorite at all is the Game Boy. It's the Game Boy player. It takes the GameCube library and expands it 100 times. And you know what? Pretty awesome playing your Game Boy games on the TV. Granted, some of those Game Boy Advance games look incredibly rough now, but it's a perfect little lunchbox. Now I'm done.
Now you can talk, Spacies.
Wow. Okay. Yeah, I was going to say Switch for me is my favorite Nintendo console. If you had have asked me that before the Switch got released, I would have said Super Nintendo. But yeah, because the Super Nintendo, it's just part of that classic era of gaming where both companies are slogging it out, and the schoolyard fights were just ridiculous when it comes to
it was
the
great.
console
It was
war.
great.
And we will never get
That
a
was
time
fun.
like that again. Yeah, sure, we've got Xbox and Sony fanboys at each other, but it's not the same. My display back there is half Sega, half Nintendo, and even the floor on the carpet on the floor
Yep.
represents that, because that to me was like the golden period of gaming where just you got red versus blue at it, and it was just great for gaming. But the Nintendo Switch for me is a perfect hybrid of portability and also playing the game on a bigger, larger screen. Granted, I would love to see a Switch Pro come out, because I do think that the hardware is limiting what Nintendo can do. I do realize that Nintendo keep going on about, oh, we don't need a high-end specs. You do need better specs, though. You're holding back the creativity of your developers as a result of the what do you call it, the current tech, and even Sakurai has come out and said that in the stream. He said, I would have liked to have done more, but we were restricted with the CPU limits. So he's come out and said it in an official direct. How much more of a hint do you need that a Pro console needs to come out? But all that aside, it's just when I saw the reveal, do you remember your reaction when you first saw the Switch reveal?
Yeah, I do actually. I remember liking it. I wasn't sure how it was going to work with. I didn't think I was going to use the portability at all. But guess what? I end up using that so much. Anytime I go away, because me and my son both have one, we can play against each other or whatever. And it's actually quite handy to have. I never ever thought I would say that, but I guess, well, I used to take my 3DS with me. So, of course I'm going to use it. It actually is much better than I thought, having it as a portable console as well.
So, I thought that I wasn't going to use it much on portability, but it's good if with COVID, we haven't had a chance to go overseas anywhere, but it is a great console for when you do go overseas or on major travels. You can take that library with you. But again, I go back to the point though that I would love to see a Pro console. I would like to see Nintendo try and be brave enough to compete with Xbox and Sony on their level. It would be interesting to see. But I know that they're just going to hide behind excuses as to why we don't do that. Oh, because we just don't think that that's necessary. Okay.
That's why I was disappointed with the OLED, because I really did think they were going to bring out a Pro version of it. And it does look nice. The screen looks great, but really, I really was hoping they would bring out a Pro just to like give them a little bit more extra, just a little bit extra. I mean, yeah, oomph. Your games don't have to be oomph, but they just have to play well. But sometimes, you know, it does go into other elements. It's not just visuals. It can actually help with other things too. So
yeah, but when you get a game that is showing off a scene and the frame rate dips, it breaks the immersion of the game.
Yeah, 100%. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying, like, I wish, you know, I really was disappointed with the OLED. It's like they had a perfect opportunity, and I don't know if I'm going to buy one, because, like I said, it's a bigger battery. It's got a little bit more storage, bigger screen, but I don't know, like, it's a lot of money just to pay up for a little bit of a bigger screen and the few other little enhancements they had.
But I remember
the soft has an Ethernet port.
Okay, yeah. Well, you know, honestly, I wish they had an Ethernet port to start with.
The Switch Pro, when the Switch reveal came out, I remember it was most times when I see a new product or a new console or a new logo, there's that little short moment of me looking at it going, I don't know. But there was none of that with the Switch. The name made sense. The logo was perfect. The click sound effect that they used was just like, oh my god, that's actually pretty cool. The whole thing just made sense, and even for a long-time Nintendo critic of like myself, and I only criticize them because I love them. You know, I want to see them get better and better and better. But when I saw that Switch reveal, I think that was probably one of the best reveals of any console of all time. That's how much I the PlayStation 5, that reveal didn't do anything for me.
And there's still no games on it.
No.
if I have a library here, look, there's still no games on it.
I don't understand why everyone's going crazy for the PlayStation 5. It's like, it hasn't proven itself yet. The Xbox Series X is actually doing more to show its gamers that they're dedicated to deliver goods to them.
The Game Pass.
Yeah.
the other night, the night before Dread came out, I was looking at the reviews just to see what the reviews were like, and I went to News for Gamers. Oh man, I don't know why I go there. just to see what the consensus was, because they're very pro Sony on that side, which is fine if you love Sony. I like Sony too, of course, because I've always got the new Sony consoles. And I was looking at the review for they're getting like 10 out of 10s, 9 out of 10s for Dread, and in the comments they're saying, "Oh, there's not one game that I would play on the Switch." And I'm thinking to myself, this is not all of the comments. I know.
That's such a troll comment.
It is such a troll. It wasn't all the comments. It's like, man, I thought to myself, there's not one game that you would play on the Switch. No, out of all the games, not just the physical games I have in the shops, so all the eShop games. There's not one single game you could play. Maybe you're not the gamer. Maybe you're not a gamer.
AAA Clock. AAA Clock.
Hey?
Have you seen that?
No. Oh, is it just a clock?
It's just a clock.
I did see that.
Game of the year.
And the countdown is on.
All right. Is anyone else got anything to add to that before we move on? Because that was
that trailer. You know, when you mentioned that trailer, it was a very good trailer for the Switch to show off the Switch, because we're still getting the bad taste of the Wii U out of our mouths here. That like I just remember sorry, I criticized the Wii U. Yeah. With just the portability. We all talk about the portability. Like we forget about the cool thing about the normal Switch, where you can detach the Joy-Cons and have two players on it as well.
Whoever does that though, come on.
My son does it.
I know.
My son does it.
We do. Yeah.
He really does do it, and I don't know why. I've tried it.
I don't know why.
I don't know why. He does actually he does it with obviously with the new Zelda Skyward Sword, because you got the things and like that. That's cool because you can do the sword thing. But he does it with pretty much every game he does, and I'm like, he's good at it too. I guess maybe it's for a younger thing. I don't know. I personally just like the controller myself. But yeah, he embraces it. He embraces it. That's all I gotta say. So maybe it's a generational thing.
So just quickly, going to get to the chat just briefly, and I'm sorry that we haven't been keeping to chat, but we do have a lot to get through, even though we've got 2 hours to do it, but even still. G to the next level's lurking in the chat. Thank you for joining. Console for me. He's answering the best Nintendo console. Be the Nintendo Switch. Didn't think the NES would have ever been topped for me. NES, bleh.
Come on.
Sorry, it saved the consoles. It saved the gaming industry. I forgot.
It's a great console.
However, fav game for me will always be Super Mario 3. Again, not my thing. But you do you. All the rest of it.
Mario 3 is the second best Mario game.
What's your first?
Super Mario World. I just said it before. Were you not listening to my answer when I was?
I don't listen to you. You know that. G to the next level also goes on to say that I was hoping for a pro version as well. The Switch, the OLED is nice, but there's no real reason to get it if there isn't any performance updates, and you already have a Switch second model at least. I totally agree. Now, Retrokaiser, have you been keeping an eye on the chat over there? No? Yes?
Yes, I have.
What we got over in GenerOZity chat?
Yeah, I've
been looking at the
Game Train.
Chat.
Brian's falling asleep. Morning. We're gonna play some Bubsy today, lads.
Oh, you and that one dead horse joke.
I will play Bubsy if no one else is up for Bubsy. I'm here.
Sorry, I've just been monitoring the wrong chat.
I'll show you how it's all done with the Bubsy.
Shut up! Sorry, guys.
Okay, so we're going to move on to the next question, yeah? All right, so the next one... Sorry, I'm just loading it up. Next one... Oh, no, not this one. Cameron Hans. What have you got for us, mate?
Hello there, everybody. Today I have a question for the Since Spacies Show episode number 27. And my question is, why do they call it Sega Sammy instead of just Sega? Where did Sammy come from? It sounds stupid. That's all. Thanks for answering. Bye.
Comical history lesson about video game companies.
So here's where we start talking corporation business talk.
Oh my god.
Let's talk about taxes too.
No, the long and the short of it is in the early 2000s, Sega and Sammy merged to become Sega Sammy.
Yeah, but can you run into something? can you run into something like so we can talk about because it's like a one answered question? I'm guessing for this question.
Yeah, I'm trying to expand it out. If you let me finish. Yeah, okay. So the long and the short of it, the long and the short of it actually, is that they merged with Sammy. Sammy's actually the bigger company of the two. And as a Sega fanboy, I'm like, really? So someone bigger than Sega? But yeah, their pachinko, the money that they make from pachinko machines is just ridiculously huge.
Yeah.
So they operated together as one merged company, with the Sega brand still being kept alive, but being owned by Sega Sammy. And it wasn't until this year that in April they agreed to let Sega run as an independent entity. I don't know the exact terminology, but basically they were told, okay, you can now make your own decisions. We're going to now control the Semi side of things over here. You control Sega business. We might get involved on big decisions like a new Sonic game and all that sort of thing. But when it comes to the crunch of it, you're going to take care of most of your own decisions. Now, the speculation is that they've only done that because A, they're looking to sell it, Sega that is. Or B, they did it so that they can streamline their operations. Keep in mind that as part of this decision to make Sega be a more independent company in its own right, the downside to that is that they retired over 600 staff in one foul swoop to make that happen. That's, you talk about disturbance in the force. That's as big as a disturbance you can get. So, and then you've got, like, just yesterday the announcement of the Yakuza series director leaving Sega. Then you've got also the Akihabara Sega closing. It's a really hard time to be a Sega fan right now. You could try and be positive and look at it that, okay, well, they're still running and they're now got their own they can make their own decisions, but they're doing it on a lower capacity. So it's going to be interesting and a little bit maybe tense to watch what Sega do. But that's the long and the short of it as to why they called Sega Sammy. I agree, it's a dumb name, but you don't see them use it that often. It's only more for when they're talking about business announcements and that sort of thing. Anyone's got anything to add to it than that?
Well, not really. I've only just heard about this whole name of it. Like, this is the first time we've even heard the name Sega Sammy. So,
well, there you go. So that gives you an idea. The name, Cameron, the name Sega Sammy doesn't affect the average gamer. No, you don't hear it. So
there's your answer to your question, because it doesn't affect me at all. Obviously, I never knew about it.
I agree, it's a dumb name, but B, it doesn't affect you or the product or the brand. So let's move on. Yeah, okay.
Let's go.
By the way, reminder: get the donations in. So can we get another link in the chat for that, please? Someone. I would do it, but my stupid stream deck is asking me to sign in, and it was like 5 minutes before the stream started. I'm like, no, I'm not doing that.
The fun times of owning a stream deck, man. I know that feel.
Once a month it unsigns you. You got to re-sign in. It's just such a pain.
I know that feel.
All right, so the next question is coming from 8-Bit Dad 7DC. I still haven't figured out what the 7DC represents. Question number.
He was born in.
Is this the rewind question?
Is he like born in DC?
Oh, okay.
Or is this the Sega one? Is this the Sega question or the rewind one?
Well, when I play it, I'll tell you. God.
I can't see
this
it.
Is what happened. This is
we
what
don't
happens.
See the question.
I know. That's why when I play it, I'll tell you. This is what happens when you got amateurs on your guest as a guest on your show.
Oh, come on.
Yeah, come on. Be a little bit more professional, will you?
I'm not a mind reader. I'm not a mind reader.
Seth, what do you got for us, please? Help me.
Since Spacies crew. This is 8-Bit Dad 70C, better known as Seth, and my question involves older games that get re-released on newer collections, like the Mega Man Legacy Collection. These collections usually have a rewind or a save state feature built into them. So my question is, do you use these features? Do you like them? And do you think they change the gameplay? On older games that were specifically designed to be replayed over and over again, like Mega Man and Super Mario, I feel like it does change the gameplay. And if you have your first playthrough with these save states or this rewind, you will have a much different experience than other people who don't. But I'd love to hear your guys' take on it. Thank you so much.
God, Toppy.
Yeah, what?
Shut up. Ah. Yeah, okay. He's a struggle. It does change it, I think. Yeah?
Well, it depends on how you answer the question. You know what I mean? Like, okay, I'm going to give you a
answer
very good. I'm going to do a very good example. So he
This is the top
mentioned
load of show, boys and girls.
he mentioned the Mega Man Legacy, right? And I had the same. I have all the Legacy games too. They're really good. And initially, I thought, well, you can't use the rewind feature, but for games like Mega Man 1, which are actually pretty hard, if you want to learn how to play the game before you actually play the game properly, it's actually just quite handy to have if you want to work out the patterns, because Mega Man obviously uses the same pattern every single time you play the game. And if you just want to use it as type of like a practice mode, that's how I use it personally. I go through a hard game, like say Mega Man 1, which is hard, and I rewind it just to kind of work out the patterns. And when I've kind of finished the game, then I'll go back and not use the rewind button and try and work out if I can remember how the patterns went when I used the rewind feature initially, because it helps you work out the game. Because if you can't work out the game, then
He's
you can't
already
beat the
answered
game.
it. He's answering it again and again and again.
He's rewinding and
Yeah.
I'm using my own rewind feature.
He's stuck on a loop.
I'm using my own rewind feature so that you can understand what I'm saying, just like Mega Man 1.
Okay. Stop. That's it. We got it. Thank you. So, would you, in a sense, you could call it, if you were to ride a bike without training wheels, you'd be more scared. But the rewind feature is kind of like having training wheels.
Training wheel.
Yeah. So you're a little bit more confident. Okay.
Yeah.
Retrokaiser, have you got something for this?
No, my answer was going to be the same as Toppy's.
Sorry.
So what he said.
Look, I think the rewind has been one of the best features on, this mini Super Nintendo and mini NES. Also, it was featured in, the Rare Replay collection, so that made Battletoad achievements easier to get those achievements on Battletoads now.
Really? Has it got that feature?
Yeah. And you know what's funny as well too? That feature was really good to use in Madden 08 as well, when I was achievement hunting in Madden. Yeah, and here's what tripped me out. So, FIFA this year, they actually brought it into FIFA this year, FIFA 22. I was like,
a rewind feature.
Yeah. So a replay, so you can replay where you want to stop. So that way, it's only on single player, of course. Yeah. So you can go back to the replay.
Yeah, I can't imagine that being popular online.
No.
Yeah, I don't like how that worked out for me. We'll just rewind that.
It's funny that it's taken EA almost 13 years to bring a feature like that back as well into their sports games. But it was weird that they only. It's weird that they brought it into FIFA this year, but that rewind feature, it's helped me a lot with certain games. But I mean, back then, Donkey Kong was already hard as hell to play to get to the 100%. And luckily on the rewind feature, it was so good to use it on this mini and any SNES as well too. So rewind feature, I'm all for it. Because
Donkey Kong Country games are hard. Tropical Freeze, man. That Tropical Freeze game the last boss is pretty difficult. I've obviously beaten the game, but there's no rewind feature in that. But you get how it works is you get a lot of coins, so you can repeat the level a lot if you get a lot of coins. So that's good. So if you lose your lives, you're not starting over from way back. So you can just repeat the boss over and over again, which is kind of like a little bit like a rewind feature, I guess, in that way. You can just keep redoing it. But it was a hard boss. And Donkey Kong Country games are hard in general for whatever reason. They're usually for kids, especially Tropical Freeze. My son really struggled with it until we got the guy with the surfboard. Can't remember his name now. But the guy with the surfboard
is it Crazy Kong? No, I don't know.
No,
Cool Kong.
Cool Kong, yeah.
At first, I don't personally use him, but he uses it, and it's good, because when we play two-player, he can use Crazy Kong, whatever his Cool Kong, whatever his name is, and it does make it better for two-player as well.
Just surf around, yeah.
Yeah.
I was going to say that changing the topic a little bit with lives in games, I don't know why we bother with using lives in video games. Super Monkey Ball, I've been given a review code for that, and part of the challenge in that is just making the level, but you get lives in it, and I kind of think, really, that's not necessary to enjoy the game. I reckon you should just be given unlimited chances at trying to complete the level to just try and see if you...
Super Monkey Ball, man. I don't know how.
No, it's brutal. It is so freaking brutal.
Well, playing Metroid Dread the other night, I noticed there is no lives, I don't think. And if you die, you just go back to the last door you came through, which is great.
Yeah,
so
I'm more in favour of that, because you just keep chipping away at the game,
Because in the other... Yeah, sorry, Paul, what were you saying?
Just quickly to elaborate on Donkey Kong Tropical Freeze, we had a lot of customers return that game on the Wii U because the first 2 levels, kids were saying it was too damn hard.
Yeah,
that we had so many returns on it.
It is hard, honestly.
Luckily, when they remade it for the Switch, then they remade it on the Switch that they had Cool Kong in there.
Yeah.
Made it a little easier as well. It's like having Nabbit in it, in New Super Mario Brothers, U, it made the game so much easier as well, because even that game got hard on the Wii U as well too.
Yeah, I'm surprised they made it. Like I said just before, I am surprised because it is aimed for kids, really, the Donkey Kong games.
Yeah.
And I don't understand why they made it that hard. I'm glad it's hard for like hardcore gamers like me, but when I want to play it with my son, it really was hard, especially on the Wii U. But when they brought the Cool Kong out, it did make it easier. But really, I don't know why they made it that hard with that game.
What's one game that your son really wanted to play but got ejected because of the difficulty level? Besides that game, is there another one that you can think of? Or
not off the top of my head.
Dark Souls.
Which one is Dark Souls? You have to play Dark Souls.
I can imagine a kid picking that up. Can I put this on, Dad? What? Really? You sure?
I gotta admit, he doesn't get dejected that much because he's only 9, but he's actually really good. Like we both finished Tropical Freeze. Obviously, he uses Cool Kong, but I don't remember being any other levels that he really struggled with. We played Doom 2. I'll give you an example. We played Doom 2, and the last level in that is what, Icon of Sin. And I told him how to beat I told him what you got to do, right? Because we're both playing 2-player, and you got to go up in the tower and you got to shoot the missiles into the mouth. And I'm thinking to myself, he's asking me how to do it. I'm like, he's not gonna be able to do this. I'm like, okay, this is what you do. I'll be your muscle, so I'll destroy all the guys shooting at you. I'll set it up because if you don't know what I'm talking about, you go up on this big tower and all the enemies are shooting you off the tower, so you can't shoot into the mouth. So it makes it hard. So if one person shoots the enemies but are shooting at the other guy, shooting into the mouth, it makes it a little bit easier. But that's kind of what you got to do. You got to shoot the other enemies. So he got it in. It took him a couple of goes, but he actually got it in. And it's not easy to do. And I was actually really proud of him. I was like, you actually beat the game without cheating. No cheats, anything like that. And yes, I was there like defending like the other guys. But still, even doing that is not an easy task.
Can I just rewind and just emphasize the fact that he's letting a 9-year-old kid play Doom.
And my dad let me play Doom when I was 6.
Hang on. I was playing Wolfenstein when I was 8 and Doom.
Hardly as detailed and as graphic as the new Doom games. Come on.
And Doom came out when I was what? Oh, Doom came out when I was, I think, 10 years old. Was it 92 it came out?
But I'm getting at the fact that the Doom games now are just way more great. Yes, Retrokaiser, you're about to burst.
My dad let me play Final Doom when I was 6 years old. He was like, it's 2D, it's not that graphic, it's tame.
I will also reiterate, but he's not playing the new Dooms. I'm saying he's playing...
Okay, I misunderstood.
No, he's not playing
I thought Dad was a psychopath and letting his kid...
He is, but that's besides the point.
I said Doom 2 Spaces, I didn't say Doom 5.
Okay.
Could quickly elaborate. Top Loader's a better father than Kratos in God of War. That's
a good thing. That's a plus.
He helped his son, instead of Kratos like war every 2 seconds. Speaking of games where we weren't supposed to play age, look, man, I played Mortal Kombat when it first came out when I was 5. So look how I turned out.
That's his point. That's actually his point. Look at ya.
Nothing wrong. Wasn't there a controversy where a father was not helping a kid play a game? He was just saying you got to get good or something, wasn't that?
Get good or something, yeah, I remember this.
That was a while back. That died down, but I remember that being... Yeah, but... And it became a bit of an internet meme. Like, And
Yeah.
everyone.
And that's how that inspired the story for God of War.
See how it works in together? It works in.
It worked
It
out
ties in.
well.
Father
It
of
ties
the
in like a
year.
knot. It tied in like a knot, didn't it?
Father of the year.
Worked out well.
Got anything else to add to that one, or we just leave it and move on? We're
Yeah, I
getting
just
through-
wanted to. Yeah, what did you think I was talking about the new Doom when I said Doom 2? Were you not listening again?
No, I wasn't
happening?
listening. I don't listen to you.
Maybe you should. Maybe there's a clue there. Maybe there's a clue there. Maybe you should start listening. Then you won't be having any problems with what I have to say.
Well, getting back to the rewind feature, it was a bit of a disappointment that the Mega Drive Mini didn't have the rewind feature. I mean, I personally wouldn't use it except on the rare occasion. I think during my streams, I used it twice, I think, for Legend of Zelda. And even then, it felt weird.
More than that.
There's a couple games on there I'd love to use it on. Like I said, for just a practice effect on the. I can't remember all the games, but there was a couple really hard games on there. I wish, like, was Contra on that? Was Contra on the Mega Drive Mini? I can't remember.
It was on Super Nintendo Mini.
Yeah, it was on Super. Okay, yeah. I can actually beat that game without any rewind feature, but it is difficult. I would love for that game to have a rewind feature. I'm telling you. You got save points. You got save points.
The
You got
rewind
save points.
feature.
You got rewind features on the Super Nintendo Mini, but I mean, like, we just click the button and it just goes straight back.
I've
you know
got
what
the
I mean?
Japanese box and it's in Japanese, so give me a sec. I've got to get through this.
Name a hard game on there, like a really hard game. I'm
Oh,
sure there is
really?
one.
Well,
Yeah.
Musha would be hard.
Musha was hard.
Yeah. It's not overly hard if you play it on easy, of course, but if you played it on the levels that it was designed to. Thank you for the follow, Juxty24. Thank you for the follow.
I'm terrible at shooters, eh? Like, I love them, I really do. But I'm so bad at them. R-Type I'm getting into right now, and it's like working out the patterns. Obviously, everyone knows that, but it's just working out the patterns, and that's the fun of it for me, working out the patterns. I really love that element of shooters, but I'm just not good at shooters for some reason. For whatever reason.
One game you'll like is I think it's G Darius. Well, it's one of the Darius games, but it not only you're flying around shooting like the typical shooter, but when you get to the boss fights, there's a chance, like, if you shoot them in the correct spot, you can turn them into your allies and they'll fight alongside you throughout the rest of the level.
That's really cool, actually. That is really cool.
You can fight like this big giant sea dragon. You shoot them in like the one spot in the head because they like got brain control devices on them, and then the rest of the level he's flying with you, destroying bad guys, helping you out.
In R-Type 2, there's an awesome element where you get this little beacon or whatever, and it actually helps you. If you grab it, you can either use it to shoot at the back or shoot at the front, or just throw it out, and it just shoots everything in front of you. It's really cool.
That changes the game completely because you have to work out strategy with it.
I reckon one of the hardest games on this, to answer your question from before, I just found Mega Man, which is kind of ironic. It's a Nintendo title, really. And also maybe Shinobi. Shinobi gets a little hard in some
Shinobi's hard.
sections.
Which Shinobi? Which one?
The Revenge of Shinobi, the first one.
Revenge.
Oh, well,
Yeah.
sorry, not the first one, but the first Mega Drive one. Yeah.
My son loves that game. Sometimes we use the unlimited Shuriken cheat. You know, where you put the infinite symbol in the sound menu, and you can get infinite Shurikens.
Sorry, Goffioso's been introduced into the stream. How you
Hey,
doing there,
Goffy?
Goffioso? Thank you for
Goffy.
joining.
Did you know about that? Oh, you worked at the hotline. Surely you would have known about the Shuriken cheat.
Yeah, Infinite 88. Yeah.
Not 88. It's infinite. Is that 88?
No, 2 zeros together, and
Yeah,
then it goes.
infinite.
Yeah.
Infinite symbol.
That was a cool cheat, I thought. It was really creative that they made it the 2 zeros. And that was the only way I played it, because I couldn't stand being limited on shurikens.
Yeah, it's like Doom. You get limited on. You gotta keep collecting stuff, but once you start killing a lot of people, you get a lot of ammo.
Thank you for the biddies, Goffioso. Much appreciated. I think we've answered that question well and truly. We're going to go on now to Ben Magnet's question. I did an interview with Ben. I don't have the link to that, but I did a podcast / interview with him. 2 hours, actually. He had to shut me up because I just kept talking and talking, much like someone else here.
Who? Name names. I want you to name names so we can get down to the bottom of this.
Anyway, we're going to move on to question number 6, sorry. Question number 6 with Ben Magnet. So I'm just trying to get the buttons ready so that I can shut Toploader up during the question. What's the question again? What's the question? I don't know the question, mate.
That's a terrible impersonation. Paulie's the only one who does it properly.
I think it was all right.
I need to watch Ben, man.
Ben, what have you got for us?
States. How's it going, bud? Anyway, so my question to you is a bit of a two-parter, so I hope that's okay. The first part is, what was the first game you remember pre-ordering? And the second part is, was that a good game or was it a bad game? Like, did it burn you after you played it? It was like, man, that was a really bad game. So I'm curious, did it burn you or did it not? And what was the very first game you could ever remember pre-ordering? Anyways, hope you have a good one, bud. Talk to you soon.
From G'd up, there you go. Okay.
He doesn't shut up. Even when the questions are being played out, he just keeps talking, and it's just like, God damn it.
I like to keep it interesting for you guys.
So, I'll go with this one first. Final Fantasy VII. I pre-ordered that about a year out, and that was the first game that I pre-ordered. Because pre-ordering just wasn't a done thing. It didn't really have...
it wasn't a thing.
There was release dates, but not really. You just... The game's going to come out and you get it when it comes out. But that one I was like, no, I want this and I definitely want to lock it in. There was no fear of missing out back then because you knew you could just walk into the shop and in most cases the game would be there. But was I disappointed with it? Hell no. No, man. It was like one of my most played PlayStation games that I had on that system. Top loader's itching to go. You know what? No, you can wait. Retrokaiser, go.
Why
Go.
would you think I'm itching to go? I was sitting here normally.
He's like, yeah.
First game I remember ever pre-ordering with my own money was all the way back in 2006, and that was the PC port of Sonic Mega Collection Plus, which it came in like not quite. It wasn't like the big box PC era where they're like huge. It was like the little big box.
Oh yeah.
Like,
yeah,
they still came in a
DVD
cardboard
size,
box.
yeah.
Well, not quite DVD size yet.
A
They
little
still
bit
had like
bigger.
the cardboard sleeves, but when you open it up, there was like the thicker DVD case.
Yeah.
I remember. And all because it's a good game. That's it. There's no interesting story behind that.
Okay. Paulie?
Probably two-part answer for me. Like, because I remember back in 1998, no joke, Pokemon sold out, like, the first time. I had to pre-order it because, it was sold out everywhere in 98. It was like, we had to pre-order it at Harvey Norman to wait for it to come back in, which almost took like a
Harvey
month.
Norman, wow.
Yeah.
Wow, you
Yeah,
were desperate.
this was my mum who pre-ordered it for me because back in '98, I think a lot of people know Pokemon was the thing. Yeah, I'm trying to hold back in the swearing here. It was the thing,
It was the shit. Go on, say
Yeah.
it. It's all right.
Cool. Oh, we can say, it was the shit in '98.
The shits.
It's the shit in '98. So it was like back then. There wasn't like quick restocking like we do now. Like when something sells out, it's easily restocked. Back then it wasn't easily restocked. Now and it was like who are the first 20 people to get it? That's it. Now a lot of retailers they get like more than 50 copies or whatever. Like something like Pokemon, of course, they'll get heaps of copies. So that was the first one I pre-ordered. But my mum pre-ordered that for me because she was a cool mum. But the first
Shout out to Mum.
Shout out to Mama Dung. But the first proper game I ever pre-ordered with my own money was, Toppy's gonna probably get have a laugh at this one. Mortal Kombat Deception was the first game I ever pre-ordered with my own money. So that because back then in the day, for me, like I didn't get new releases, on the day like back then. Like as I do now, but yeah, like pre-orders wasn't a thing for me as well. But now, looking back at it, Mortal Kombat Deception was the first game I ever pre-ordered with my own money, and I think because there was bonuses. Because at the time EB was like giving out bonuses as well. They used to have like pre-order this and get $10 off the pricing and stuff like that. So put $10 down and then get an extra $10 off. When it comes out. That's when EB used to be cool with pre-orders. Now we just all price match everywhere now. Yeah.
Top loader, what have you got?
He's waiting.
Well, my answer is a two-part question as well because it was more out of necessity at the time. So back in 2006, everybody was a bit worried that we weren't be able to get the Wii on launch day. If you didn't pre-order a Wii, you probably weren't going to get one on launch day. So when I did pre-order my Wii, I got Twilight Princess as well because I didn't want to run the risk of not getting it because everyone was really hyped up about it. Everyone can remember that if you're back there then. And when I got Twilight Princess, that's actually the very first Zelda that I ever played. Now, obviously, I have every single Zelda. I'm a huge Zelda fan now, but that was my gateway into the Zelda franchise. And I'll tell you something, I probably wouldn't have got Twilight Princess straight away if that was the only game that was available for the Wii at the time. There was only about 5 games you could buy, I think. I got Monkey Ball as well, and I pre-ordered that as well, just to have something to play in case I didn't have many copies. But I wasn't disappointed at all with Twilight Princess. In fact, I was so impressed with the game, I had to buy Link to the Past.
Gotta pause you for a second. Goffy has just kicked in with a donation of $25 to the GenerOZity call. So huge thank you. Oh, wrong button. Wrong button. Thank you very much. That's what we're here for. This is a cancer donation charity run. We're trying to can cancer. The link is right there. So make sure you digging in deep. So far they've raised, is that 18,000? Again, 18,146. That's just awesome. So if we can get that, I would like to see them eventually get to 30,000. That would be fantastic.
Also, thank you to Goffy also for interrupting Top Loader.
Yeah, that's
that
the
was
best
much appreciated.
If you want me to stop talking, you gotta donate. We keep telling you this. If you want me to stop talking, you gotta donate to the GenerOZity.
All right. All right, go for it. That's the only thing that causes a top loader error.
I actually pretty much said what I was going to say, but that was what got me into Zelda in the first place, and that's what made me get Link to the Past and go back from that. So now I've got, like I said before, I've got all the Zeldas now, and I absolutely love the series. Breath of the Wild obviously is the latest Zelda. I'm not right into how that game is. A lot of people love it. I don't personally love that game. It's okay. I don't see the hype for it personally, but overall, Twilight Princess is a special place in my heart because I really love that game for getting me in the series in the first place, and it's got a great soundtrack to boot.
It got you into the series, so you missed out on Link to the Past?
Do you want to know why?
That shocked me. Yeah.
Do you know why? Do you want to know why? Because
yes, please do. Tell me more.
Okay. I saw that game. Keep in mind, I was 11 years old when the Super Nintendo game came out, so I had to pay for my own games. My parents would buy me games at birthdays and Christmases, and I also had to share. I also had to share it with my brother, right? But when I've got so many funds to have, for a Zelda game, when I look at it, I'm thinking to myself at that time, I'm not sure if I'll love this game. So if I've only got a certain amount of money to buy for myself, I'm really going to get something that I know 100%.
So you bought Bubsy. Well done.
And I love that game. That's weird, right? Okay. And I still play that game. And I still love that game. Okay?
What could possibly go wrong?
So can we just have it on the record that he chose Bubsy over A Link to the Past?
Giving me the option now. If I could go back in time, I would tell myself.
All right. You were a kid, so that's fine. I get it.
And the reason why, because I thought
a dumb kid, but just a kid.
Also, in my defense, I thought it was more of an RPG turn-based game. I didn't realize you run around and actually did stuff. So I actually thought I might get lost with it because I'm not an RPG guy, which is more of an action RPG.
How much did you play Bubsy before you were like, okay, I'm done with this?
Well, I had a great story about that. So I didn't. On that day, we got Bubsy, Super Star Wars, Street Fighter 2, Super Mario World, and F-Zero. The first game that I put in was Bubsy because I knew as soon as I put Street Fighter 2 in, that was the only game that I was going to play for that day, which is what happened. So I put in Bubsy.
What could possibly go wrong?
I put in Bubsy for about 5 minutes. I'm like, I just need to play Street Fighter 2. I've been waiting all year to play Street Fighter 2. I got Bubsy out. I put Street Fighter 2 on. And I played that the whole day, and I kind of like put the other games in for 5 minutes as well. But it was Street Fighter 2 on Christmas Day, 1993. For me.
Can I just elaborate on that?
I'm using your voice to flame you.
You got all those games and you decided to go with that first.
Yeah.
What the hell is wrong with you?
Okay, in my defense again, Bubsy was hyped. Bubsy,
Oh, man.
Bubsy was hyped, man. It was hype train in 1993. That game, it was hyped. It was hyped, and there was no big, and the reviews were pretty good too at the time too. They weren't like
So
when
working at
when
working at Sega, we actually did get given shirts with the exclamation mark as part of a promotion, and there were copies of the game going around. I didn't get one, but sorry, am I interrupting you?
No, Goffy also just donated $10.
Oh, Goffy kicked in with another $10. Oh my God, this is so damn
sorry.
good.
Sorry to cut you, Brian.
No, that's fine. That's what we want to see. So remember, we are here for charity. There is a link there where you can donate to Can Cancer. We're currently up to 18,156. Let's get those donations going. If we can get this to 19,000 during the stream, yeah, good one. But
He also said more Todd on Bubsy and Nintendo, please. Oh, and we've got Game Train, Twitch. We all love Bubsy here.
Yeah, we're big fans. We're big fans of Bubsy. It's you guys who are missing out. It's you guys who are missing out.
The top loader. It was definitely an instant classic. Why else would they put the Sega Classic sticker over it?
Yeah,
Exactly.
I don't understand that.
I should get a shirt that has the exclamation point on one of my shirts. That would be awesome.
I did have that as a shirt, but it lost to time. But yeah, I might get another one just to continue on the Bubsy flame.
I will say that Bubsy 2 is no good.
Oh, you think?
Well, yeah,
You think?
I could throw in there and say Bubsy 3D wasn't that good either.
I will also say that Bubsy was the only Bubsy good game on any console.
I disagree. The second one and the Jaguar one were actually really good.
Jaguar one? Okay, maybe. I've only played. I've only played the first few levels. It didn't grab me. It felt like I was playing something in Wonderland. I didn't really like the theme of it, but that's just me personally.
Do you know what? I have skipped the question, so we'll get back to that other one as well. I just realised we should be on question. No, it's all good. It's all good. We've got plenty of time. So, well, actually, we're moving into the second hour, so we better hurry it up. So the first game. Anyone else got a pre-order story? Anyone?
Well,
I got one.
All right,
I've got a pre-order
we've done with Bubsy. Thank you very much, top loader.
I was talking about my Metroid Dread, but I already told that story before. How I genuinely forgot, but I ordered the collector's edition. I couldn't believe I got this big box. I couldn't work out why I was paying $140.
Is that the painter's fume getting to you?
That's the after effects. So be warned.
I've got one. Top loader.
Wait! Before you get into that, we've got to say thank you again to Goffy with the cheers, with the bits. Thank you very, very much. There we go. Okay, so yeah, Retrokaiser, your story, please.
I'm choking here. I gotta stop doing that. But no, this was back when Twilight Princess 3. Come on, this was back when Twilight Princess was coming out. I remember being hyped for it for the GameCube version. So I pre-ordered that, and you could only pre-order that one from EB Games back in the day, which is not interesting, but it's a fact. It's annoying. And when I went to pick it up, you see lots of people lined up to pick up the Wii version, and I'm the one guy in line's like, I like the GameCube version, please.
That version's completely backwards too. Like it's
not backwards. It's the proper aspect. They flipped it for the Wii version.
I know. Link is left-handed. We get it. He's
I
special.
wish I did. No, I almost bought the GameCube version because just in case I didn't like the motion controls, but I ended up really liking the motion controls in that game. And I thought to myself,
of course you did.
Yeah, I always think to myself and out loud, like you can hear now. But anyway, I got it just in case it would be rare because I knew everyone was going to get the Wii version, and I was going to get one just to keep. I never did. I really wish I got it. Have you still got your copy, Kaiser? Because I think it's worth a bit of cash now.
No, I sold that years ago for about $100. Should have kept it sold for $200.
Wait.
I got my copy for $5 in a bargain bin.
The GameCube version?
Yep.
You still got it?
Still. Behind me. Yeah, it's behind me on this shelf. Yeah, it's like really behind these Xbox games here.
Is it sealed?
No.
Did you open it?
No, it was unsealed, but
you're
still
the only
$5.
lunatic that keeps their games sealed.
I've actually got a funny story about when I played Twilight Princess for the first time.
Okay, go for it.
I actually got a glitch during like one of the tutorial missions. Like, you know how the controller vibrates in the game? Well, the game froze in the middle of a vibrate, so it was like constantly going. And the best part was my grandmother comes in, she looks in, she sees me holding it, she looks at me and goes. And she walks out.
Actually, that reminds me. Speaking of Zelda game, there was one time, if you ever play, the Spirit Tracks, there's a part in the game where you have to blow into the DS.
Yeah.
So here's what happened. This is my experience. I was on a train one time. I was playing it, and then I had to there was a part in the game where you have to blow into the DS so you can move the boat. This elderly lady's just looking at me, just going, "What is wrong with you, young man?" I'm playing a game. They told me to blow into it to move the boat. It's like, oh, okay, because I wasn't sure if you're retarded or not. He actually said that to me because you know how elderly
Old people they have no filter. Yeah,
no filter. and then she was very apologetic later on because I had to show her. On
I'm
the screen.
sorry, I called you a retard. Yeah,
yeah. She wrote. She was like, oh look. I had to show her, look, this is what the game said to do. So,
I knew video games were no good for you young people.
She was just questioning what has gone on with video games now these days. Because at the time the Wii had came out, she's like talking about her grandson playing the Wii as well. She's like, he's just moving, he's playing that tennis game. It's all over the place. He's just whack.
He's gone through free TVs this week. All right. Yeah. We got another question here from Carl Reeves. This is question number 5. We're going back to it because I missed it.
You missed it.
I missed it. Question number 5 from Carl Reeves. And by the way, thank you, Ben Magnet, for your question. Carl, what have you got for us?
Space Cats Beep Boop calling in from the Eyre Peninsula in South Australia. I've often wondered, we talk about how Nintendo repeatedly saves itself with blockbuster consoles like the Wii and, of course, the Switch. But Sega obviously died out after several bad consoles. I don't mean died out in terms of video games. Died out in terms of producing home consoles. What would have happened, or what do you think the console industry would look like had the Dreamcast actually have saved Sega? Cheers, gang.
What's the thing
Thank you very much there. Yes, the Dreamcast, the proper one, the blue one. Man, so the story goes that he actually had Peter Moore, I think it was his name. Yeah, he had he had a choice, and he's come out in interviews and said this in the past, where he had a choice between going with broadband or internet connectivity, or it was dial-up back then. Sorry. So he had a choice of going with online connectivity or a DVD player, and he opted to go with the online capability of the machine. And I get it from a games manufacturer point of view. You're trying to push gaming. You shouldn't be focusing on being a multimedia system, but that's what the people wanted. I know so many people that bought a PlayStation 2 just because it had a DVD player inbuilt. Yeah. Well, I bought an Xbox because it had DVD. That was my story back in the day. Even though you had to pay that extra little bit to get the remote, to unlock the DVD capability. You know the story?
A little plug-in.
You know the story?
Here's the Dreamcast too.
Oh, he's just got it sitting on his lap by
And
coincidence.
then there's the DVD.
Do you know why? Do you know why the DVD capability isn't in the Xbox by default?
Because they're cheap asses and they didn't want to pay Sony.
Well, they didn't want to raise the price of the consoles. They figured if you really wanted to unlock that feature, you would buy the accessory, and the licensing behind the DVD was in that accessory. So that's how they kept the prices down, which I guess is fair in a way. If you really want the DVD player, the option was there for you. You just had to buy that thing. But getting back to how would I don't know. I don't really think Sega would have lasted another console.
Does it really make or break? Because the Wii didn't have a DVD player. Everyone bought a Wii.
It was a different era. It had the Wii had the gimmick. The Wii, it had the gimmick.
That. And in saying that, the GameCube did fail, and really, honestly, it was a great console. Like Kaiser said, it is one of the best Nintendo consoles. Definitely the most underrated. Everyone says that the Dreamcast is the most underrated console, and
Of
it
all
is.
time.
Yes, it definitely is. I think the new one is the GameCube. Like, I think we're all established how great the Dreamcast was. Most of us kind of skipped over it for the PlayStation 2. I didn't buy a PlayStation 2 for a DVD player, but all the advertising that I saw was it plays DVDs and games.
Yeah.
And I hate that. I hate that stigma of it playing, like them pushing the DVD, because I prefer just playing games. I get it for the mainstream and it worked perfectly for them. But I personally, like you said, I play it personally for the games. And I can see why they did it, but I just prefer it for the games for me.
Coffee also is giving you a hard time in chat. More time
What's
on
this at? What
GameCube
is
and
this
Bubsy.
hey, I want to give it another go. If it's a decent game, believe me, I'd have been there front and center.
That's a good question, whether or not that would have saved it, but I think we're skipping over a really big
I think it
problem
would have
at
put
the
a dent. It would have put a dent on PlayStation 2 for sure.
Yes.
Would have put a little dent, but there was a bigger problem that the Dreamcast had, especially here in Australia, and that was we couldn't find any of the games. I mean, you could find some games, but they're always like WWF Attitude, that Airplane one. There was no
Aussie
Soft-
Aero Fighters,
Aero Fighters. You couldn't find the good stuff. Maybe you could find a Mortal
Aussie
Kombat
Soft,
mod, but that is
Aussie Soft
okay.
had lost the game or lost the plot by that point. They had two people or 4 people, a very, really small team in charge of the release of the Dreamcast. So they were focused. The Dreamcast was more of a side distraction for them. They were more focused on.
Any of the first-party
They were
stuff.
more.
That's
They
the
were more
problem,
focused
too.
on PC releases at the time because it was bringing in more money at that era, which is kind of weird. Because you think back, it wasn't that long before where Mega Drive was just absolutely killing it and making them a ton of money. Fast forward to 2000 or 99, and they're just completely given up on the Sega brand by that stage. It's just kind of sad.
My friend bought a Dreamcast on launch day. He was honestly the only person I knew that bought a Dreamcast, and he got the internet hooked up, and we were into some chat room. From what I remember, we did that for about 10 minutes, and we just put on Crazy Taxi. So I don't know.
One of the best soundtracks ever in a video game. And it's terrible that it wasn't in that 2012 re-release.
Well,
because of the music
yeah.
rights, licensing. But you know what you do? You turn off the game soundtrack, get your Spotify on, or just get Offspring, Americana. You're good to go.
There's
Good to
actually
go.
a mod. There's a mod for the Steam version for the Dreamcast collection where it replaces the audio files with the proper soundtrack.
Yeah.
I recommend getting that.
So we're gonna just put a mention to chat. They're pointing out your weird album in the background.
What it actually is.
Do you want to show them the back cover? Show them the back
Go
cover.
and show them the back. Show them the back.
cover.
Show them the back.
Show them the back
Show them the
cover.
back.
Now show them the inlay. Show them the inlay.
The inlay?
Yeah.
Show
If
the
you
inlay.
don't know what this is a bootleg vinyl record for the Sonic the Hedgehog 3 soundtrack. And if this cover looks familiar, it's because it's doing a piss take on
His
the Thriller
hand's a
cover.
bit close to the mark there, isn't it?
Yeah.
Anyway, let's just move along. Okay, we get it.
Because Michael Jackson's music was of course featured in Sonic 3, and it's the reason Sonic 3 was not featured in some of the Sega compilations as well.
Yeah, so they're trying to work around that. They're trying to work around that now.
Oh well, the easy solution would be to use the PC re-release soundtrack instead, and done.
Ew, no.
Hey, you might say ooh no, but at least it gets the game out there.
Yeah, at least the game's out there.
Yeah.
It's like re-releasing Street Fighter without the Land of the Rising Sun flag in the background.
I don't know why they kept that so secret for so long. They're like, oh, did Michael Jackson do the music? Well, obviously, if they're not releasing the game, he obviously did it. But why do they keep that so secret for so long?
Because they're going to get their butts sued by the when Michael Jackson was alive, he had no intention of suing Sega. He loved Sega.
He loved Sega, yeah.
And then now it's handed over to the custodians or whatever they call themselves. They're just in it for the money. They don't care about what Michael Jackson's wishes were. So if they see an opportunity to lay into Sega and suck some more money out of them, then they're going to go down that path. It's sad, but that's just where we are at. So hang on, just getting back to. Did anyone have anything to add with the Dreamcast?
I would love to see.
Sega.
I would actually love to see what they would have done. It would have been very interesting. And I will say, obviously, we're not going to be getting any Sonic games on any Nintendo systems if they did keep going with it. But who knows if they would have stayed successful? No one knows. It's obviously a crystal ball moment. But honestly, I would love to still see Sega out there. I'm sure a lot of people would. I think they have so many great franchises, but it's still underutilized now. I would love to see a new Golden Axe game or something like that. But we're getting Streets of Rage, we got that, but I would love to see a few more.
That's not Sega, but that's not Sega. That's
it's not Sega.
Someone else doing it.
Someone did it, yeah.
Oh, is it? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But still.
I would have loved to see Sega stick it up for another year for the Dreamcast. That way we probably would have had the Monkey Ball games on there. The updated editions of the Sonic Adventures. We would have had those Sega GameCube games on the Dreamcast, and I reckon that would have changed a little, because from what I remember back in the day, like, I know people went for the first party titles for the GameCube, but they also went crazy for all the Sega titles for them as well.
So the demise of the Dreamcast was down to a couple of things. No DVD player, no EA support. That's a big factor. That was a huge factor. No FIFA, no Madden.
No Madden, yeah. But here's what you gotta give props to Sega for. They didn't get support from EA. What did they do? They went out there and made their own sports games. We got, what did we get out of it? We got virtual tennis out of it. We got NFL 2K out of it. We got NBA 2K out of it as well. So, props to them for like, you know what? We're going to take on EA, even though we've only got...
Have you played 2K hockey? NHL?
Oh,
it's awesome. It's such a good
NHL
game.
2K is awesome.
Virtual tennis is my favorite tennis game of all time. Virtual tennis.
One of the greatest soundtracks.
Actually, no,
one of the great soundtracks. One of the greatest soundtracks. Yeah. Those
arcade games I actually find better than the simulated ones. I know Paulie loves all his Fifas and all that, and I like them too, but I just prefer like the arcade type sports simulator games like the NBA Jams and the virtual tennises, and even like the Mario ones they bring out, the Strikers and all that. I prefer that. I like the wackiness of
arcade,
that.
NBA Jam was released on the Dreamcast, wasn't it?
No, NBA Showtime on NBC and NBA Hoops.
Not quite.
Sorry to be the sports guy here.
Yeah. No, I don't get the stigma against sports games. They are fun to play. It's
NFL Blitz. Sorry, the arcades.
Yeah, I was just going to say there's a stigma against. As soon as you mention sports games, there's a bunch of people like, oh no, not sports games. They're fun to play. Like, especially
it was a great one too.
Especially when you got a room full of dudes just like 2 versus 2.
Drunk at FIFA, drunk at NBA.
Sports games, pizza, and beer. What more can you want in life?
Well, I do know I love a bit of pizza, and beer, so they do go down well together when you mix them all up together on a Friday night.
Once again, just remember that we are here for charity. You can donate to donate.generosity.charity. We're here to can cancer. It's affected a lot of us here, so I think it is one of the best causes you can think of right now. At the moment, they're up to $18,000, 156 raised. That's a pretty good damn... who says video games, were a scourge to society? Come on. So
that's a really good trip to the bottle shop, that amount of money. Yeah.
Yeah, go on.
Yeah. No, just to elaborate on Dreamcasting. Best arcade, perfect fighting games.
Oh,
best arcade.
SNK versus Capcom Millennium.
Yes. We'll love Capcom. Please give us a remaster of Capcom versus NSK 2.
Breakers.
Yeah, please give us a port.
SNK versus Capcom 2 is my favorite.
Did you like the controller when you used the fighting games on the Dreamcast?
Oh, they were great. Marvel vs. Capcom 2, the shoulder buttons was perfect for the ultra combo finishes.
Maybe. I always felt they were like really pointy or something with the Dreamcast controller. I don't know. Like, that's just me personally, but like I love the games they had on there. They had the best arcade fighters on the Dreamcast, but the controller was a bit wacky, I thought.
There we go. There it is.
Would Sega have released a second? Another console after the Dreamcast if the DVD was put in there? It still all comes down to the DVD.
It does. It's so bizarre that it does come down. That's the whole problem.
But it's scary that's how volatile Sega were at that time.
Can I ask with the online thing? Because we never really used it for anything. We sort of chat. So you could use it to play like other games. Is that how it worked? What was the whole thing with the whole online thing in the first place?
You could play versus against other people, and
worldwide.
Or there you go. The
drink key.
You could buy beer off the internet. I did that. Yeah.
What was it when you said you could play 2-player games? Was it laggy? Like, how'd that work? You know what I mean?
It was not like you get today where it's full intense, but it was to a point functioning, but it was hit, but it was hit and miss. But it was the first time that anyone had experienced that, to be able to play against. Well, the first time many people experienced it. There was an online service in America for the Mega Drive, which is just like that's unbelievable that they managed to get a online capability for a system like that.
But the Super Nintendo had one too, the Saddle View. In Japan only, obviously, everyone pretty much knows that. Well, if you don't know that, Super Nintendo had a Saddle View version, and they even had live...
And had a lot of BS games.
BS games, that's it. Yeah, I called them the BS games, whatever. And they actually had live readings. Some of the games, they had like live actors come in.
That's so cool. Like, when you think about it.
Yeah, you would think about it, but I still don't know if I would have done that if it was available to me. I'm like, I don't know if that's something I guess if you're into that, I guess it's fun, but to me, that's personally not fun. What I liked about it was you can download like the F-Zero tracks. You can get new F-Zero tracks, which was like DLC, I guess, for free. I don't know if you have to pay.
By the way, those extra tracks.
Did you have to pay for the Saddle View? I guess you had to pay for the service.
Oh no! I played it through emulation years and years later.
But we don't do anything like that now. We don't have a thing where you get on there and this is some attention. This is the voiceover dude. If you go to this area now on the map, there is a thing on, like an actual person that interrupts and actually speaks to the players, like actual voice, not just text ticker on the screen. It's sad that that's not a thing.
Yeah. I guess if you like that, to me it'd be annoying, but you like it. That's great for you. But I don't know.
You have the option to turn it off if you don't like it. That's what I'm saying. It should be there. Like Forza Horizon has something similar where if you meet up here, you can play, but it's an automized feature. It's not an actual person on a mic there now. Well played there, Since Spacies. You did well. Great stuff, top loader.
The voiceover.
Yeah, it would be good to see a commentating voice kick in and actually, get involved in live with gameplay. That'll be. I think these gaming companies are getting a little lazy when it comes to massive online gaming. They just set it up and then walk away and go and drink all the profits.
What are they drinking though? I would like to know what kind of beer they're drinking. Label stuff.
Well, we've got half an hour to kill and we've got one more question.
What, you don't have more questions? How'd you not get more questions sent in? You should be right on that.
By the way, that's a great reminder. If you want to get your questions in for future episodes of the Since Spacies Show, that's the show where you ask the questions. If you send them in, you got to send them in to Brian@sincespacies.com. That's BRIAN @sincespacies.com. Keep them a minute or less and make sure that they're landscape. We don't do this, up and down rubbish.
Vertical. Yeah.
If you're ever at a scene, something major's happening, and you pull out your phone and record it, don't record it like that. You're a wombat. Record it properly.
What kind of wombat? That is annoying. I don't know why people do the vertical.
Yeah, when they do that, and then the TV stations have to get creative with blurring out the sides or something. It just looks rubbish. Okay. I'm sure Todd can help filling that half hour easily, says Goffy.
Yeah.
So he's really on your back today, isn't he?
What you should do is ask the chat some questions. Ask the chat some questions so we can answer for them.
One of the questions.
No, the other way around. Chat, if you got questions, put them in so we'll answer them now live while we're going. In the meantime, we're going to go over to the final question, which is from Wacko Jacko, who's in a bedroom that looks. I'm going to call it. Bit scary. Should we report him? It's just
rescue him. He looks like he's locked up.
Yeah. All right. So question number 6. Here we go.
My question for you guys at the digital PAX today is, what has been your comfort game during this pandemic? Me personally, many games. It's hard to really choose one, but I want to ask you. What has been your comfort game during this pandemic? Me, you ask? Well, one of the things I've been liking to do lately is use this cool VR headset to look on Google Earth and just, imagine being in a place where I would be allowed to be if it wasn't for this pandemic. So, what is your comfort game?
COVID lockdowns as much as you guys.
See, during the questions being asked, he just goes on and on and on and on.
Oh,
Thanks, Todd.
Yeah, we're back now. Come on. I was just saying, my comfort game would be Haircut Simulator 2000 because every one of us here, except Todd, what did you tell us during the?
I'm ready to go, mate, because my missus, she's got the clippers out. She almost could be a barber because she's actually that good. She really knows her way around my head, and that's hard for me to say.
It's all coming down to just getting a bowl that fits. That's it.
No one knows around my head. No one knows my head like my missus. My head, you idiot. Bring your head out the gutter. Get your head out of the gutter. Oh, jeez. That didn't sound bad, but that's on you because you're thinking it, not me.
I tell you what,
you're thinking it. I'm saying it, but you're thinking it.
Are we done? Finished? Yeah.
I am.
All right, cool. I was just going to say that if it wasn't for streaming, I think I would have lost it. I've been streaming a lot of just retro games during COVID. I finished 3 games this year on my streams, and these are games that I wouldn't have finished otherwise if it wasn't for streaming. Fantasy Star. Legend of Zelda, the first one, and also Link to the Past. The 3 games that I finished this year, and I'm proud of that. I'm finally glad to get them off my chest and finally have finished them. Retrokaiser, what have you got?
Well, I don't really have a comfort game. I've more got a comfort system, which is the Retro Arc, especially with the Retro Achievements feature. Just, if you don't know what Retro Achievements is, it's just like this community just adding achievements to all these old games for like the Super Nintendo, NES. It's awesome. It's awesome. It's very, very awesome. So I've just been playing that for the entire year, and I want to say that I got all the achievements in about 150, 160 games in just the 1 year. It's crazy. So I've been playing.
Press start. 5 points unlocked.
Like you have to beat like stages in Mario without collecting coins or in certain.
I like that because it adds. It makes you go back to an older game, and
you like collecting the coins?
No. That's why I like NES Remix. It makes you do a little quick challenge.
Okay, that was cool. Yeah.
New life and new challenges to these old games that you've played to death. It has ruined me on achievement sets for like the main consoles in Steam because I look at like the Geo Pocket Collection, and the achievement set is so lazy. It's so shit.
Tedious, yeah.
It's just like read through all the manuals, play each game in black and white, open up all the cases, just beat the games regularly. But you got like the retro achievement stuff, like as I said before, beat Mario without dying. Or one that I'm so satisfied that I got this year, beat Super Mario World in under 15 minutes.
Oh.
That one was really satisfying to get.
You can do that with. There's only like 10 levels you have to do if you get the right world.
I know. It's just. If you know the shortcuts and whatnot.
In saying that too, with how you said the NES remix games, why don't they have a Super NES remix games? Man, I would love that. Like, especially if they could have like F-Zero in there to do like special times or whatever. Like you just said, a Super Mario World thing or whatever. But you got the NES remix. So I always thought they're going to bring out a Super NES remix, but never came.
I was actually really, really disappointed with that. Maybe we'll see it come out later. They went on to make another lot of games later.
I got 2 of them. I got 2 versions.
No. The team that did the NES remix, they went on. I think they were responsible for porting over. Damn it, I can't remember. I'll get back to that in a second. We got G to the next level lurking in the chat. Hey G, we got. I wish that I brought the Geo Pocket Collection physically. What prompted that?
Me talking about the Geo Pocket.
That's I think that's a limited run as well in the US.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Sure. NES Remix Pack was amazing. It's half the reason why I hung on to my Wii U. Release that on the Switch, you idiots! Like, how hard is it?
100%. I would love to see that.
But yeah.
We're going to answer our questions now?
No, I was going to ask Paulie.
Okay.
You go last. You just
last. You put me last. That's fine. I'm good with wherever you want to put me.
Comfort game.
Comfort game. A title that just literally only came out 2 weeks ago. Cruising Blast on the Nintendo Switch.
I should get that. That looks good.
You know what's funny? To us, we would all love it, but to the kids, they'll be like, "What is this game?" Because we've all been used to playing Cruising USA for such a long time, for like last 25 years of our lives. Cruising Blast is like one of the most fun games I've played this year.
It's very similar to Daytona 2.
Yeah, it is. Tell me any other game where you get to race as a helicopter or a dolphin or a hammerhead shark or a UFO. No other game has done that this year or in the last 25 years where you can race as those. Even a horse, you can race with a horse as well too. And the best thing about it, it's $60. You don't have to go to the arcades anymore because in New South Wales we were in our lockdown. Couldn't go to the arcades, so what can you do? Buy Cruising Blast on the Nintendo Switch. And not just that, the music's amazing as well. It's one of those games, like, it's the ultimate chill out game. Even like when you're not winning a race, the soundtrack is still good and everything. And another one I'm just gonna add as well, Tetris Effect Connected is another game I always go back to and play. The music, amazing. And now it just came out on Nintendo Switch on Friday as well. Got a 25% off discount, by the way. One of the
just throwing that in.
That's an ultimate chill out game. Even though there's parts where it gets full on, but like the music is just so good, you forget about it. You just keep chilling out to it as well. That's another comfort game for me. So it's those two games that have been the comfort game for me during this whole lockdown but I think probably Cruising Blast a bit more because I'm really having fun playing that and just like smiling at the same time while playing it portably on the Switch as well too. But
do you know what prompted them to bring that game out? The guy that developed the series, he has an arcade version in his house and he has kids parties, like, because he's got kids, I guess, and they always play it. So he said in an interview recently that he really wanted to bring something out into the console because all his kids' friends love playing it. So he thought he would try another go at it, bringing it out onto like. That's
cool.
Yeah, that's how it came about. I read it recently in an interview that he did.
All right, top loader.
What kind of
All right,
Lots of crap.
What the hell kind of crap are you talking about? All right, go for it.
Well, actually, I've been playing a game a lot that Paulie's been streaming. So my son's really just found the Dreamcast, the GameCube.
Dreamcast on the mind.
In Queensland, where I live, we don't really have the lockdowns because we've been pretty good with the COVID. So we're one of the few places in the world where we can actually walk around freely. So we're pretty good. A in saying that, my son's getting a little bit older and he's been finding the GameCube. And there are so many great GameCube games, as we know, as Kaiser said. And there's a game a franchise that he loves, but he didn't realize was on the GameCube. And he saw it in my collection. He's like, "Can we play that?" Which is Simpsons Hit and Run. So so he loves The Simpsons and he loves playing. He just loves running around playing in the world of this game.
Isn't it talk that they're going to bring that back?
Well, I think
it's been rumored for years. Us fans have been demanding.
So it's just stupid. Oh, I'm bored. Let's do another speculation article with no basis behind it. Okay.
There was some issue they had that they couldn't bring it back. I can't remember exactly what it was. It's probably something to do with licensing. I don't know. But there was some issue where they couldn't bring it back. But he does the missions as well. But he just runs around. He just loves interacting with the whole world because it's The Simpsons. He loves The Simpsons. But he loves also playing the game too. So we've been playing this a lot lately. Even though we're not in any kind of lockdown, that's a game that we've been playing a lot recently, and it's just been comforting to play it together because he loves it and I love it, and it's great to play the GameCube again because he now loves the GameCube.
You guys need a Twitch channel. Seriously, I keep saying it. I go like he's going to be a hairy old man by the time you guys get that Twitch channel up and running.
Well, how we would work it if we did that? He would play it, and I would like.
You would read the chat.
Read the chat. That's what me and Tommy do. Yeah. So Tommy would play it, and I'll read the
needs
chat.
to happen.
Yeah.
That works out well. It'll work out well.
By the way, has anyone been keeping an eye on the chat and generosities?
Yeah.
What have we got?
Ash has donated $10. Ash,
nice.
1656 has donated $10. Thank you for
well
that. Ash.
Done, Ash. Anything else?
Thank you very much, Ash. That donation.
Game Train Twitch says we all love Bubsy here.
We do, and I'm the person that will say it the most and the most loudest because it is an underrated game that everybody disses, but I don't think it's a game that should be dissed. It's a game that should be celebrated. It's a game that should be celebrated, and I'm the poster boy for Bubsy.
Oh God damn it!
Yeah, well, look here. we went on Twitter and
Stop
we tried
it.
to raise
Get
money.
some help.
We tried to raise money to buy the costume for Top Loader the wear. You remember that?
and I was
Japanese
streaming.
gif, that Japanese gif I found of the Bubsy guy in the Bubsy costume? A Japanese gif.
We gotta do it. We gotta do it. If there's a way of raising money to get that to happen, we need to do that.
And we're gonna raise money for Spaces to wear the Sonic costume. But we all know that
It's gotta be Sonic, not Sonic. You know that.
Yeah, but we all know after playing the Olympic Games, the 2020 Olympic Games, we all know that Spacey's under the costume, as mentioned by Alistair AU.
You know what the problem? You know what the problem is, though. You know what the problem is? You're all playing it wrong. That's the problem. If you played it right, you wouldn't have a problem
Here
with
we
the
go.
game.
He's on a
You wouldn't have
rant.
you wouldn't have a problem with the game if you knew what you're doing when you're playing the game. You keep dying because you don't know how to play the game.
Yes, he gets killed by one character blowing at him, and that's it. You know.
But if you know he's there blowing on you, you gotta jump.
What the hell are you talking about?
The usual crap. You could actually put that in a Bubsy game and it would work.
That's enough Bubsy Spaces. Your
Hey, just got this now. Just got the next
He
question.
should have.
about
Yeah,
Bubsy.
he should have been the Smash relief.
yeah.
The Smash reveal. Bubsy, so we can all beat the
That would
Seven
have been great.
Shades.
That would have been great. Everybody that loves Bubsy can play Bubsy. Everyone
all
that hates
four of you.
Bubsy. And everyone that
you and Game Train and yeah.
everybody that hates Bubsy can smash Bubsy in the Smash Bros. How awesome would have that been if he was an unlockable character? Honestly, if you love Bubsy, he's there to play with. If you hate him, you can smash him up. There you go. It's win-win.
Shut up. Right now, just a quick question for anyone in the chat. Do you have a question for us, gaming-wise, gaming-related, that doesn't have anything to do with Bubsy, preferably?
We're all about Bubsy. Every single question about Bubsy.
Oh God, this is the Bubsy hour.
What,
Nah.
don't you know, it's the Since Spacies Show.
Since Bubsy Show. Imagine that was the first game you ever played.
It's the first one I put on my console.
Actually, I got a question for all of you.
Yeah, go for it.
You know, for the you know how we were asked about the pre-order question.
Yes.
I'm gonna ask, what has been the best pre-order bonus that you've ever gotten that you had to pre-order a game? I think you and Retro and me have got it. I swear he better be grabbing the right item.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, if he doesn't grab, yes, he's grabbed the right item. Yes, they both grabbed the right item. Yep.
So what was that pre-ordered from? I missed that one.
That was 2000.
I didn't get the Dreamcast one though. That was the one that I missed that I wanted.
Yeah.
But I was glad. But I'm so happy to get this and the blue vinyl. Ooh.
Yep. 2008.
And mine is number. Where is it?
200.
297. Yeah. So.
And Emeralds is 566.
What did I get that was good?
I'll tell you guys my one. This is a funny one.
That's a good question. Why didn't any of you ask that? Please email your questions in. Come up with good questions.
There goes my question that I could have used for the future Since Spacies Show.
You got plenty of material to come up with another question.
All right. Yeah, my one. I think this is one of the funniest ones. 2005 at EB, they had a special pre-order for Mark Echo's Under Pressure. You know, the graffiti game. So what happened was when you pre-ordered that game, you got a bonus. You got a bonus cap with it. The cool thing was EB, my local EB, because I knew everybody there. They gave me the cap straight away. I go, oh,
when you walk in, they're like, oh no, here he is.
Yeah, here he is. Yeah, pre-order it now. Here you go. Here's your cap. So what happens a few months later? The game got banned in Australia.
Oh, nice.
You know how, because you know how Australia is against glorification of graffiti.
Yeah,
which is weird.
Jet Set Radio.
Yeah, Jet Set Radio.
Jet Set Radio.
Jet Set Radio. Yeah, exactly. Jet Set Radio.
And then, Tony Hawk's Underground too. They promoted you.
Yeah, Tony Hawk's Underground. Yeah. There was parts where you had to spray a part to complete the goal. So, but Mark Echo's Under Pressure. Oh wow, we just got another donation. Anonymous donated $50.
It's not anonymous, it's anonymous.
Anonymous. So it's anonymous. So thank you for the donation, anonymous. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. That's awesome work. So we're up to 18,216. Come on, guys, let's get that going.
Thank you, anonymous.
And put that link in the chat. Put that link in the chat. There we go.
So sorry, I had to stop myself.
That's why we're here.
I had to stop it because I had to acknowledge it. Thank you very much for that. So that game ended up getting banned in Australia, and so that hat is now a collector's item, and I've lost it. So.
Oh no! You fool!
Yeah, you
How
fool.
do you do that? How do you do that, man?
Moving houses.
True. Yeah, actually,
half the times I've lost crap, it's been with a moving
houses.
Yeah.
I lost my GameCube memory card. I lost all my save files for my F-Zero GX. So all the diamond tracks that I got up to, I have to redo again. And that's the hardest part to get to in the game. If you know F-Zero GX, is getting to the diamond tracks.
But you know, like that's got to be a good thing though, to have an excuse to play that again.
True, absolutely true. But I wanted to show my son like how far I got in the game. I couldn't show him because I didn't have him because we were playing F-Zero GX a little bit.
Son, we're gonna do it together.
So Dad, you're a lot. Oh, Goffy also has donated $25 as well. More
nice.
I knew I liked him. I knew it. There was something about that guy that I liked. And there it is.
Legend. Thank you, Goffy also.
Anyway, to answer the Paulie question. Anyway, to answer the Paulie question, the best pre-order bonus that I got, and I don't really get that many pre-orders unless it's something that is really cool. And the 3DS Ocarina edition come with an actual ocarina, like a little tiny ocarina, and it gave you sheet music with it as well. I haven't actually taken it out of its wrapping, so I can't use it. But
Sealed.
It's sealed, but it's honestly one of the best pre-orders I've ever gotten. People have actually asked me to buy it off me because it's really cool. It's like this little tiny blue ocarina, and I'm glad I got it. It's up on the shelf, but because this question was asked, now I didn't have a chance to go and grab it off the shelf because I'm sitting down before I get to actually.
Oh, sorry, I didn't prepare you earlier.
That's okay. We all make mistakes. I mean, look at me. Come on. I don't make any at all. But it's alright for you to make them, as long as I don't.
Okay. Do we want to promote ourselves or not? PauleQuan. So the reason why I'm asking these guys to promote themselves is that we don't really have, I think, a stronger community in gaming that we could have. I think it could be stronger when it comes to not only gaming but retro gaming. We all are strong supporters of the retro gaming scene here. And I think that we could be doing more to support local content creators. I'll start with PauleQuan. What's your because you keep changing the name of your channel, so I can't keep up.
Before I do that, can we just also thank Archangel 007 for their
yes,
donation? Yep, thank you very much, Archangel, for your donation as well. Sorry if I have to cut that off.
No. That's what we're here for. We're here for.
We're going to show love to our donators as well. So thank you very much for that as well. My Twitter handle, Instagram, every social media thing is PauleQuan. Of course, my Twitch channel is Super Dwong Brothers. Hence the reason I'm going to be streaming again with my brother Tommy. So that's why the name change. Because I'm tired of gaming. I need someone to game for me while I commentate as well. So.
Good idea, I reckon.
Yeah, that's what you should do.
Yeah, I think it's a good idea, man. Honestly, like you can team up and you can concentrate on the chat, and you can also see what's happening in the game as well.
Which is something you need to do on Twitch. You need to do that.
PauleQuan, how do you spell the channel name? S-U-P Super.
Yeah, Super SUPERDUONGBROS. Just think Super Mario Bros, but Super Dwong Bros.
Super Dunk.
Super Dunk.
Thanks, Space.
Did that work? Yeah, there it is. Oh, look at him. He's got the cheesy mustache handles going there.
It's not November yet.
No, he doesn't need an excuse to have them. Retrokaiser, it's on the Emerald Rangers, isn't it?
You can definitely find me on the Emerald Rangers Twitch page. You can also check out emeraldrangers.com for the written articles done by all the other Emerald Rangers crew. Yes, I'm not just Emerald Rangers. There's an entire crew of us. I'm just the face of the Twitch page.
He's one of the Rangers. He's the Emerald Ranger. He's the Emerald
Ranger. Yeah, the Emerald Ranger.
And I was going to shout out Toploader, but he's not on Twitch, so...
Well, YouTube. I'm on YouTube.
When was the last time you uploaded a video?
Tomorrow. I've actually done one. I've actually completed one, and you'll see why it takes so long.
Just to elaborate, the first time I ever watched the Top Loader video, my mum walked in on me. She thought it was Phil Jameson from Grinspoon playing video games. So no joke. She actually thought it was Phil Jameson from Grinspoon playing video. It tripped me out that she actually remembered the lead singer of Grinspoon. That's what tripped me out.
That's weird.
Was that an accurate description?
You do kind of look like Phil from Grinspoon a bit.
Well, it sound like him though. I can't sing.
And I'm going to shout out myself because I don't get a chance to do that. Here we go. I'm shouting out Since Spacies. Does it work? There he is. Because they're a good egg. How weird does that look? Nah, make sure you follow me because we do this show once a month. And some of the biggest guests. Who would you think is the biggest guest I've had on my channel with the Since Spacies Show? Corey Marshall,
Al Nielsen,
Nelson,
not you.
DJ Slopes. Yeah.
No. The guy. I think this was on part of the Yet Another Bloody Gaming podcast era. That guy that was like the higher up for like Sega.
Yeah, Al Nelson.
We said that.
Al Nelson,
And if you were if you want, you can still go back and watch that. He goes into half an hour or more about talking about his dealings with Michael Jackson while working at Sega. That was just like I don't think I'll ever get to beat that on my channel.
That wasn't the highlight. Wait a minute, that wasn't the highlight of that conversation. When he mentioned my Pikachu hat was the highlight.
Also, can we just say, we just got another donation as well, Alexa Gogo, and also the biggest guest for sure that you ever had was Game Train himself. I'm looking forward to Cricket 22 on November 20th.
Strange cricket! Oh my god! Yeah, he must have enjoyed having just one person watching that.